outside the box, take a different road. Shake things up, let your story unfold. Unconventional playbook, break the mold. Let your heart guide you, let your tale be told.
Unconventional, exceptional, writing our own rules, feeling sensational. Unconventional, exceptional, embracing who we are, feeling invisible.
Yeah, colors outside the lines, dance in the rain. Embrace the chaos, release the pain. Unconventional playbook, let's make a change. Let's rewrite the stars, let's rearrange.
Unconventional, exceptional, writing our own rules, feeling sensational. Unconventional, exceptional, embracing who we are, feeling invisible.
Be bold, be brave, stand tall. Embrace the journey, rise after the fall. Unconventional playbook, we have it all. Let's break free, let's stand up tall.
Powered by Riverside FM.
Welcome to another edition of the UP Unconventional Playbook. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Man, I got an interesting topic today, and I would love to hear UP Nation's comments out there to see what you think about this situation. You know, one of the best things that my dad ever taught me is the ability to be able to self-reflect and take inventory of things that you're doing, whether you're playing sports or whatever you're doing in life. The ability to be able to do that. And I'm starting to think that there are some teams in the NFL that need to follow this advice. Take a little bit of inventory and, do a little bit of self-reflection. And what brings this up, the reason why I'm starting to think about this is I look at the journey of Sam Darnold, man. Sam Darnold, for all intents and purposes, is balling out for the Minnesota Vikings. He's got them 4-0. And if you got people out there in your lives that said, man, I call that, I knew Sam Darnold was going to do the do, man, come on, man. Nobody saw Sam Darnold. If you saw the 4-0 record, you sure as heck wouldn't have said it was because of Sam Darnold. You probably would have said that it was because of that Brian Flores defense if you predicted the Vikings to start off 4-0. It wouldn't have been Sam Darnold, arguably one of the top tier quarterbacks in the NFL right now. I don't think anybody saw that coming. But what happened? Why did the light switch for Sam Darnold all of a sudden turn on? Is it solely because he has a great infrastructure now with the Minnesota Vikings, great coaching staff, KOC, the quarterback whisperer? Is that what's allowing him to flourish and have a good season? Is it maturity? Was it the time that he spent with the San Francisco 49ers? What is it? If you could figure that out and jar it some way and sell it, you would be a millionaire. That's the question. So we got to look at some of these organizations, man, because some of these organizations can't really get out of their way. Now, all of UP Nation, you guys know I'm a big Cleveland Browns fan. I grew up in Warrensville Heights, Ohio. Big Cleveland Browns, Ohio State Buckeye fans. I still have my love for the Cleveland Browns, but man, it's been a hard 51 years being a fan. There's been some good years, and luckily I had an opportunity to, be a fan of the Cleveland Browns when they had Bernie Kosar. Those were great years. But since Bernie Kosar left the Cleveland Browns, the quarterback position has been pedestrian. This is who the Browns have had at quarterback. They got rid of Bernie Kosar in 1993. This is the quarterback they've had: Vinny Testaverde, Mark Rippon, Eric Zaire, Tim Couch, Ty Detmer, Doug Peterson, Spurgeon Wynn, Kelly Holcomb, Jeff Garcia, Luke McCown, Trent Dilfer, Charlie Fry, Derek Anderson, Brady Quinn, Colt McCoy, Brandon Whedon, Seneca Wallace, Thad Lewis, Jason Campbell, Brian Hoyer, Josh McCown, Cody Kessler, Deshaun Kaiser. Then there was Baker Mayfield, Jacoby Brissett, then Deshaun Watson and Joe Flacco. Now, here's the amazing thing. A lot of the names, some of you probably don't even remember. And they had a franchise guy in Bernie Kosar who got us to the AFC Championship game 3 times. I remember those years. But then they moved to Baltimore and became the Ravens, and then Cleveland kept the trademark, so they came back as the Cleveland Browns, and they really haven't had a franchise quarterback since. It's been pedestrian. But then they had little flashes, man. They had little flashes. Baker Mayfield, I was on board with. Baker Mayfield had a little bit of dog in it. He's a little bit different than Johnny Football, kind of in the same mold, but the difference is Baker Mayfield could play a little bit. Baker Mayfield, in a time where the Browns had not really been successful at all, took us to the playoffs and won a playoff game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. You would have thought that would have been enough for him to ingratiate himself into the heart of Cleveland Browns fans and the organization, but it didn't. And he got out there his last year and balled out with a torn labor. And yet, they got him out the door after winning the playoff game. See, it's almost like when you've been that type of organization and you have that fan base, the organization and the fan base really don't understand what they're looking at. Point blank, quarterback is the most important position on a team. It's the engine that drives the car. If you have a good quarterback, odds are you're going to have a pretty good chance to win ball games. And Baker Mayfield, no matter what you think about him, I've heard the conversation, we wanted an adult in the room. Baker Mayfield came in and played some decent football because you went to the playoffs and won a playoff game with him. But you trade him in for the shiny new toy in Deshaun Watson, who comes in with a lot of problems. And so you trade Baker Mayfield, who got you to the playoffs, for a guy that is coming in with a lot of baggage, and you guarantee him a lot of money. An unprecedented contract is what the Cleveland Browns did. He's been not himself since he came with the Browns. Average quarterback at best. Got injured, and then you bring the old Star Wars veteran in there and Joe Flacco, and guess what? Things change. The Browns have a good year, adequate quarterback play, and he leads the Browns to the playoffs. And then the Browns ship him out of town. Again, given the spot for Deshaun Watson. And then this past Sunday, Joe Flacco comes in relief of Richardson, balls out, throws 2 touchdown passes, and leads the Colts to a victory. Baker Mayfield is having probably his best season that he's ever had in the NFL. Just signed his multi-year contract because of the way he played last year. Is it the organization? Is it the player? You just heard the list of names for the Cleveland Browns. And now as soon as you walk out the door from the Cleveland Browns, you flourish. I got another example for you. The Carolina Panthers, man. The Carolina Panthers had Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield on their team at the same time, battling it out for the number 1 quarterback. Both of these guys now, keep in mind, are 2 of the top quarterbacks in the league now. But yet, when they were in Carolina, they couldn't get it done. Is it the organization? Or is it the players? This is where these organizations have to start self-reflecting. Because right now, it's a bad look, man. It's a bad look. Carolina had to bench their number 1 draft pick. They had to bench him because he wouldn't get the job done. Bryce Young couldn't get it done. Wasn't ready to play. But you're benching your first-round quarterback, and then the quarterback you had in-house a couple of years ago are flourishing elsewhere? Is it the player or is it the organization? And again, the only reason why I'm bringing this up is Sam Darnold's having a heck of a season, and nobody saw it coming because he was labeled as a bad quarterback. He played for the Panthers. He played for the Jets. And now all of a sudden he's out from under those organizations and he's flourishing. The New York Jets. Oh my God. Have they had a great quarterback since Joe Namath? I mean, how long is it going to take? I mean, my goodness, Richard Todd and Ken O'Brien, Boomer Esiason, Vinny Testaverde, Ray Lucas, Chad Pennington. Although Chad Pennington was pretty decent, but I don't think anybody would consider him a superstar. Brett Favre for a cup of coffee. Mark Sanchez, Geno Smith. Geno Smith was with the Jets. He was basically a 2-year experiment, and then they had to stop him from starting. Now he's with the Seattle Seahawks, and he's flourishing. He's flourishing with the Seahawks. That's another example. Is it the organization or is it the player? These organizations have to do a little bit of self-reflection. Don't you think? I mean, come on. Think about this stuff. And I'll even come at it in reverse for you. Aaron Rodgers, Raj, is a Hall of Fame quarterback. He chose to leave Green Bay and come to the Jets. And ever since he signed his deal with the Jets, that's where he wanted to be, it's been a nightmare. An Achilles, and I'm not blaming his Achilles tear on the Jets. There's no way they could have prevented, really prevented that. But he's back. And he's healthy. And now they're struggling to score points on that team. They got to play my Vikings in London on Sunday. They're struggling to score points. And now there's talk that he's not getting along with Robert Saleh. This is Hall of Fame Aaron Rodgers. Supposedly the defense is great. The offense has weapons. They have a running game. And now all of a sudden they can't score points. I go back to the question, is it the organization or is it the player? It's intriguing to me, man. It's intriguing to me. And the only reason why I'm bringing this up is I am perplexed by Sam Darnold. He is all of a sudden looking like the third pick of the draft like he was. Baker Mayfield, intriguing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, keep in mind, Baker is following the GOAT, Tom Brady. And right now, Tampa Bay's not even missing the GOAT because Baker Mayfield is falling out. Balling out, not falling out, balling out. Some of these organizations, man, they just have to take a deep dive. They have to take a look at themselves. The Chicago Bears, when the last time the Chicago Bears had a good quarterback? Jim McMahon. And now they got this stud, Caleb Williams. Listen, if I had to bet money today, I think Caleb Williams, as talented as he is, as long as he's with the Chicago Bears, is going to fail with the Bears. If I'm Caleb Williams, I'm like, get me out of here. I've seen the track record, man. This stuff is real. If I'm a quarterback, I don't want to go anywhere near the Browns, the Jets, the Carolina Panthers, the Chicago Bears. These organizations need to be gutted from within for these quarterbacks. And before the fan bases jump all over me, the resume is what it is when it comes to quarterbacks. So you have no argument there. Think about that, man. Think about what Deshaun Watson looked like when he was with the Houston Texans and he came to the Browns. And it's easy to say, oh, well, he was out of football for a couple of years. Yeah, I get that. I get it. You're gonna have some rust. I get that. I get it. He's got a lot of court cases and civil suits and everything to distract him that he got to deal with, but that's the easy explanation. What it does is it lets the organization off the hook. How about the quarterbacks before Deshaun Watson? Quarterbacks I'm talking about that had to play for an extended period of time with the Cleveland Browns. And the decisions that these organizations are making, it's like you're in this drought and you finally get a cup of water. When you're talking about Joe Flacco and Baker Mayfield, somebody finally handed you a cup of water, and you take that cup of water. You've been crawling through the desert for years, and you finally get a cup of water. You take the cup of water and you put it up to your mouth and you just pour it out. That's what the Cleveland Browns did when they made the decision to not re-sign Baker and not re-sign Joe Flacco. Proven people that could win within your organization's infrastructure. Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears, you may see flashes, but that ain't going to happen. If I'm Caleb Williams and his people, as soon as I have an opportunity to get out of there, I'm trying to get out of there. Justin Fields struggled there for years. He goes to Pittsburgh, and all of a sudden, Justin Fields can win games. Justin Fields can win games in Pittsburgh, an organization that has a great structure. Some of these teams and organizations need to take a look. The Minnesota Vikings, infrastructure is in place. You saw what KOC did with Josh Dobbs off the street. You see what he's doing with Sam Darnold. Kirk Cousins has had some of his best years, although he couldn't get us over the hump. He's had some of his best years with the Minnesota Vikings, and now you're getting a glimpse of what Kirk Cousins is with the Atlanta Falcons without the tutelage of the quarterback whisperer. These organizations need to take a hard look. Fans need to take a hard look. Man, this stuff is intriguing. It's crazy. Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield are balling out. They're in the same categories as Pat Mahomes this year. These are guys, when they were with the Jets and the Browns and the Carolina Panthers, couldn't win. Justin Fields with the Chicago Bears couldn't win. They couldn't wait to get him out of town. He's winning with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Geno Smith couldn't win in New York. They wanted him out. Now he's signed a multi-year contract with the Seattle Seahawks. This stuff is right in front of your face, man. And it's just intriguing. So I had to get on the UP and talk about it. Is it the player or is it the organizations? These organizations that have just been bad for years and just been inept when it comes to finding their future franchise quarterback. I mean, for the Browns, man, it's been a long time. And again, man, even if you look at the game this Sunday, man, Deshaun Watson played pretty well, but is he the answer? Is this what Cleveland fans envisioned when they got Deshaun Watson, where they are now with Deshaun Watson? I mean, come on. Minnesota Viking fans, let me tell you, we're in good shape. We've got the three-headed monster in Kwesi, KOC, B-Flow. And then once you start going down the depth of our coaching staff, I mean, we've got a lot of assistant coaches that I haven't even mentioned. Mike Pettin, another former head coach. Just good coaches, great infrastructure. And I'm here to tell you, man, I think the Vikings are going to win the Super Bowl within the next 2 or 3 years. Everything is perfect. They got their quarterback. They're going to be under the cap. They just can't do anything to mess it up because it's coming. What do you guys think? Put your thought, hit the like and subscribe button, and put your thoughts in the comments. Why are some organizations better at developing quarterbacks than others? Why are some organizations just terrible at it? Look at Green Bay. As much as I dislike the Green Bay Packers immensely, they get up in the morning, open their front door, and fall over a Hall of Fame quarterback. That's how good they are. Whether it's Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, look like Jordan Love is going to turn out to be pretty good. When have you ever heard the Green Bay Packers struggle at the quarterback position? And then they bring Malik Willis in. They take Malik Willis off the garbage heap with the Titans. They bring him in for a couple of weeks. They cater to his skill set, rebuild the playbook, and he wins games and looks like a stud doing it. Some of these organizations, I mean, that's impressive. Some of these organizations have it figured out. Some of these organizations continue to struggle. What's the reason? Is it the organization or the play? I just want to hear from UP Nation. Put it in the comments, man. I'll talk to you. Put it in the comments. Let me know what you think. What am I missing? Is this a bad take? Am I way off the board? Am I putting too much onus on the organization? Am I blaming the players too much? I mean, what is it? Put it in the comments. I can't wait to hear from you. Is it the organization or the player? Some of these organizations I feel like just need to take a look in the mirror and figure out what's going on. Hit that like and subscribe button. This has been Unconventional Playbook. We're going to keep coming at you with great content. We're going to keep riding this ride of the Minnesota Vikings. We're about to go 5-0 on Sunday in London, by the way. We're going to take care of those New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was on Pat McAfee talking about how swollen and how sore his knees is. Well, Brian Flores' defense is not the defense where you want to be immobile. Like, you better get that taken care of quick, fast, in a hurry, or it's going to be rough on you, A-Rod. Hall of Fame or not, it's going to be rough on you. That game, by the way, UP Nation, 8:30 on Sunday, because it is London time. They're overseas, so some of you may not even be thinking about that. 8:30 start. This has been Unconventional Playbook. We will make sure we will see you when we see you. Latre, take us home.
I don't know who I am. Can I say I'm the man? Am I losing my mind? Am I wasting my time? Do I know who I am? I don't know who I am. Can I say I'm the man?